Yo, what up? It's Amaj back with another video. Today's gonna be a horror video. We back with what culture? I guess what culture horror? And it's about the video on top 10 worst horror movies of 2024. I didn't really see any like horror movies this year that I kind of caught my eye and liked it. Probably, probably one thing is Smile that I mentioned in my other videos. But other than that, I don't know about worst ones. Let's find out.
Watching the following underwhelming sequels, slockish slashers, and embarrassing rip-offs, it is challenging to find a single redeeming quality in any of them. And several of these 2024 horror duds failed so badly, they sank without a trace before anyone really took notice. Though the horror community definitely had plenty to enjoy in 2024, this video right here proves that the year was far from perfect. Here's hoping 2025 has more hits than misses, eh? So I'm Gareth, this is What Culture Horror, and here are the 10 worst horror movies of 2024. Number 10, The Watchers. To M. Night Shyamalan's credit, his work is always entertaining, even when it is atrocious.
Is this an
Well,
aim?
apart from The Last Airbender, Shyamalan's Trap may have been flawed, but it was still
Oh, okay.
enthralling thanks to its goofy tone, otherworldly performances, and ridiculous leaps of logic. The same cannot be said about The Watchers, though, which was helmed by M. Night's daughter. He also produced it. Ishana Shyamalan's feature-length debut revolves around an artist called Mina, who finds shelter in a remote bunker after getting lost in an Irish forest. The three residents in the bunker inform Mina she cannot leave, since the area is populated by vicious creatures. But intriguing setup aside, The Watchers it's a huge mess. There's an attempt to modernize Celtic fables, but it's insultingly simplified so the mysterious antagonists come across as generic monsters. The mystery is captivating at first.
I remember seeing this. I did see one movie probably like last year. I forgot what it was called. I don't know, it'll come to me. But like I did see it and I remember seeing this as a pre-trial to like, like a trailer that's the movie is coming out. It looked pretty good to me, but shit, it tanked.
But it becomes less interesting the more that's unraveled. Now, to be fair, the chilling score, superb cinematography, and stellar performances are mild positives, but the trope-riddled script and limp pacing make The Watchers a total slog. Contrary to what the title suggests, it's not actually worth a watch. Number 9, Night Swim. Night Swim had an uphill
Swim.
battle from the beginning, considering its selling point is an evil swimming pool. However, a silly premise doesn't necessarily lead to a bad movie. For example, Oculus was awesome, and its pitch was Haunted Mirror. Sadly, Night Swim is drowning in cliches and non-compelling characters though. And thanks to the PG rating, it doesn't even have any grisly kills to satiate gorehounds. Boo. Instead, Night Swim contains multiple scenes of swimmers splashing around while being attacked by seemingly nothing. The actors try their best, especially Oscar nominee Kerry Condon, but their one-note characters give them nothing to really work with. Instead of embracing its campiness, Night Swim takes the ridiculous concept dead seriously. Considering the pool summons ghosts, plays Marco Polo with a child, and cures a swimmer's physical ailments, it's obvious Night Swim would have benefited by playing up just how goofy it is. And when it's revealed the pool can grant wishes, viewers
It sounds like a horrible plot. It sounds like a boring movie. I probably would have just like either walked out the movie theater or fell asleep.
will honestly wonder if the film was meant to be a parody. Interestingly, Night Swim started life as a 4-minute short which was released 10 years prior. Based on how bereft of ideas this feature-length version is, it probably should have stayed that way. Number 8, Tarot. Although Tarot started off as an
So why did they think that it would be a whole good movie if it was just like made to be a short? I've seen a lot of horror shorts like that need to become a movie, and like that if that tanked and it wasn't that good, It did not need to become a whole movie.
Innocent card game, it's been erroneously associated with occultism for centuries. As a result, having a horror film revolving around these playing cards doesn't sound like the worst idea in the world. No worse than an evil swimming pool. And that's why it's a shame to see how abominable 2024's Tarot turned out. In this teen horror, a bunch of friends break the rules of a tarot reading, causing them to be cursed. The premise may be paper thin, but the supernatural slasher could have been passable if it had some legitimate frights and creative kills.
And you even got your boy from Spider-Man and Spider-Man sidekick, Ned. Ned, isn't
Too
that his
bad then
name?
that this dreary garbage failed on both accounts. The tone keeps flip-flopping whether to play up the bonkers premise or not, causing the end result to be neither funny nor unsettling. Not even the most skittish person will be scared watching Tarot, since every single jump scare is telegraphed. And despite the film's brevity, it feels twice its length due to how unbearably slow each scene is. Though the actors do their best, especially MCU Spider-Man's Jacob Batalon, their
Oh
performances
yeah,
are not enough to make Tarot
bro. I feel like if you're gonna have like a campy ass scary movie, you're gonna have to like come with the kills. You're gonna have to come with like the plots and like scare you halfway through the movie and make it feel like a horror movie. If you just have like a campy theme, that's just gonna be so fucking boring. No wonder why the movie's doing bad.
entertaining or even tolerable. It may sound harsh, folks, but Tarot's best quality is its forgettability. Number 7, The Exorcism. It has to be addressed that The Exorcism, which stars Russell Crowe, has no connection with the Pope's Exorcist, which the Gladiator actor starred in the previous year. And look, as bad as the Pope's Exorcist was, The Exorcism is dramatically worse. This psychological thriller centers around alcoholic actor Anthony, who's hired for a horror film. When he starts behaving erratically, his daughter worries he's given in to his addictions. But over time, it becomes clear Anthony has been consumed by a malevolent force. Hey, it happens. In The Exorcism's defense, it has some neat ideas. Having the story revolve around a possession movie was a great opportunity for meta commentary, especially with the nods to other cursed productions like The Omen and The Exorcist. Also, Anthony is a surprisingly complex character, which the mighty Crow explores perfectly. Unfortunately, though, The Exorcism falls victim to the usual cliches. The filmmakers mistake loud noises for effective jump scares. The choppy editing makes every potentially scary scene hard to follow. And there isn't a single line or shot during the possession sequences that has not been done to death in superior films. Mr. Crow, you're better than this. Number 6, Stupid Games. It sounds impressive how Stupid Games was shot in 6 days with a mere $10,000 budget. But after watching the paranormal indie, it's obvious the creators should have spent a bit more money and put in a lot more time. When the electricity goes out at a house party, a group of friends decide to pass the time by playing a board game called Quest for Truth. Things start innocently enough.
This whole theme he's saying reminds me of like this one movie I like. I think I seen on Dead Meat. Think it was called. Oh yeah, yeah, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It looked like it felt like that whole theme of them playing a game. Bro, if you have no characters you can get behind, and the audience is gonna want them to die. That's how I feel like it. And I know they're not real anything. They're just acting. So like, I'm gonna want your character to die. If I can't relate to you and you're just being annoying and like insufferable throughout the whole movie, like, bro, you getting off.
is virtually impossible, and with nobody to root for, little scares, and bloodless kills, Stupid Games isn't even enjoyably terrible. Number 5, The Platform 2. So the platform's centered around a vertical prison where the inmates on each level eat off a descending table filled with food. The prisoners on the higher floor can fill their bellies, while the inmates at the bottom are left with scraps, which leads to chaos. This dystopian thriller had a lot to offer, including extreme violence, political commentary, dark humor, and Beckett-like philosophizing, leaving audiences hungry for more. Especially since little was explored about the prison's origin, so when a sequel was announced, it looked like answers would finally be given. Hooray! Though the prison's inner workings are expanded upon in The Platform 2, its true purpose is left unexplained. And for that reason, this follow-up feels like a retread of the first installment, except with less compelling ideas. Bit of a disappointment then. Rather than taking its time fleshing out the characters, everything feels rushed. Almost like the sequel had to have a mandated runtime. Although The Platform did feel like a story that could benefit by being turned into
Feel like there's ways of doing stuff when you like have to rush like a whole movie. I feel like if you do it well enough and you like flesh out the characters and you do the plot right and you just do like the whole movie, it's like justice. You can get away with that, but you can't do it if you just like rushing the fuck out of it.
a franchise, this sequel was egregiously mishandled. Number 4, Slaughterhouse on the Hill. In this mockumentary horror, a group of friends head to an abandoned abattoir they
Sounds
used
like
to
an
hang
awesome
out
name.
when they were teens. You know, like we all did back in the day. While drinking into the night and talking about the good old days, they discover they're being hunted by a pig-masked murderer. Oh, what a nightmare. The film is told with a story within a story structure, with the documentary host T.J. Emerson detailing how the brutal massacre unfolded. However, this layout just ruins the flow, since the action is constantly interrupted by the host's banal observations. Also, there are times where it's painfully obvious the actor portraying Emerson is reading his lines from a cue card. Yeah, that's not good. But even if the embedded narrative was dropped, Slaughterhouse would still be an absolute car crash. The barbaric kills are unconvincing thanks to the amateur prosthetics and fake blood.
There's just no way these whole things are being released on the big screen. If they are, what are horror movies anymore, man? I get behind like the old 1970s and the whole old 1980s aesthetics. Even some of the 90s when they kind of like went downhill.
There's an asinine amount of slow motion, which feels like a lazy attempt to stretch out the 67-minute runtime, and the characters are so devoid of, well, character, it leaves zero impact when they have their limbs or heads lopped off. Though Slaughterhouse on the Hill can be viewed online for free, any poor soul who watches this will feel like asking for their money back, even though it's free. Says a lot. Number 3, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Blood and Honey 2 is unequivocally better than the first installment. However, that isn't saying much, is it? Since the original is arguably 2023's worst movie. A low bar indeed. Okay, let's get the positives out of the way, shall we? Which will not take long. The costumes are dramatically better, the production values are a little higher, and
I remember hearing about this when they said the IP's like up for grabs and then making a horror movie on Winnie the Pooh. I knew this shit had to be a flop. Even I didn't even want to see the movie. Like when I don't want to see movies that are horror movies and are just bad, I just go to like Dead Meat because I know Dead Meat's gonna just do the movie justice. At least try to like make the video entertaining.
well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else, including the filmmaking, editing, and sound, is bafflingly unpolished. Any plot elements that sound mildly intriguing are diluted by the rushed pace, woeful acting, and first draft script. And even though these horror films are supposed to launch a cinematic universe involving classic childhood characters, it's hard to understand why, since the creators seem lacking in fresh ideas. Yes, it improved on its predecessor, but Blood and Honey 2 is still a terrible movie at the end of the day. As such, this Winnie the Pooh follow-up won't appeal to anybody, not even the most dedicated slasher advocates. Number 2, Alien Hunt. Ridley Scott's Alien had such an influence on the sci-fi genre, it was destined to spark spawn copycats. With that said, there has never been a mockbuster as shameless as Alien Hunt. This train wreck has all the hallmarks expected from an asylum-worthy film, including a nonsensical story, appalling acting, and a rudimentary script. However, there are three major flaws that stand out. Firstly, Alien Hunt doesn't hide the fact it copied H.R. Geiger's iconic design. The alien, which is called Trixie, is literally a xenomorph with eyes. Look at it. The film also unabashedly rips off Predator, since the story involves an extraterrestrial terrorizing a group of people in the woods. An Alien Hunt is so cheap, calling it a micro-budget indie seems a bit generous. Every item, whether it's a uniform, a gun, or the cardboard road signs, looks fake. And finally, the filmmakers haven't a clue how to shoot, stage, or light anything. Even though the xenomorph suit in Alien was astounding, the alien crew kept it in darkness to make the acid-blooded creature more menacing. Trixie, on the other hand, is regularly paraded around in natural daylight, so it never looks like anything except a costumed performer, which is not exactly terrifying. Apart from the so bad it's good crowd, Alien Hunt can't be recommended to anybody. Number 1, The Mousetrap. It's obvious the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey films were made to take advantage of a public domain character. And although this practice is disrespectful, the way The Mousetrap defiles the Mickey Mouse IP is on another level, people. In this brainless
Oh, the same thing, the IP. Why wasn't Mickey Mouse IP up for grabs? Well, not up for grabs, but up for them to make videos. Not videos. What am I talking about? Up for them to make movies on this. I just felt like these these fools are just stupid.
slasher, an arcade employer watches the first Mickey Mouse cartoon, Steamboat Willie, which somehow inspires him to go on a murder spree while dressed as the beloved Disney character. Half of the Mousetrap scenes involve the unappealing cast traipsing around an amusement park, with long sequences of them playing air hockey and laser tag. Yay! Even if the kills were somewhat imaginative, which they are not, it's nearly impossible to tell what's going on during the hack and slash moments due to the sporadic camera movements, horrible lighting, and deranged editing. And the sound quality is so poor, it's hard to make out any of the murderous threats or one-liners.
I'm just skip that one. They had some good ones on here that pointed out the horrible ones. I think I've seen this one on Dead Meat too. These plots are just horrible, and it's just horrible what they're doing with these IPs and just like doing to these legendary characters just for some cheap like money and cheap money back. I don't even think they probably even make any money back from that. But hey, if you enjoyed that video and then you like a horror junkie just like me and you want me to react to more horror videos, leave a like and subscribe. But until then, I'll catch you guys later.
Fuck it, that income, oh yeah. Gotta pay.